Sugar dust floats in the air, spoons clink and plates slide across formica tables. Britain's desserts of the 60s and 70s were sticky, sweet and sometimes strange. Stay tuned, at number 3 we'll reveal the vanishing dessert, a treat almost no one remembers today. Jam roly-poly. The rich aroma of suet and jam baking filled every corner of the kitchen, making mouths water before the first slice was cut. Jam roly-poly, soft, crumbly suet pastry rolled around thick, sticky jam, was a staple of British childhoods. Slices steamed on plates, swirls of red sweetness peeking through, often paired with warm custard. In northern homes, it was sometimes called the schoolhouse roll, a treat eagerly anticipated after lessons. Simple ingredients became magic, turning rainy afternoons into cozy memories. Though it vanished from many menus, its sweet swirl still lingers in nostalgic kitchens. Did you grab the first slice or wait for everyone to have some? Spotted Dick. A cloud of flour dusted the counter as suet dough hid dark, juicy raisins like little surprises, slowly baked. Spotted Dick puffed golden on the outside, soft and steaming inside. Ladles of custard poured over slices filled the kitchen with a sweet, comforting aroma, while children jostled for the first taste. Every bite carried warmth, a hint of spice, and memories of Sunday lunches or school holidays. In some regions, it was nicknamed the schoolhouse pudding, cherished for its simplicity and flavour. Though less common today, its cozy charm still lingers in nostalgic kitchens. Would you slice it thick or thin? The next dessert is even more unexpected, a sweet twist you won't see coming. Lardy cake. The warm, spicy aroma of large sugar and dried fruits drifted through the kitchen as the dense golden loaf baked. Each slice revealed layers of sweetness, pockets of currants and raisins glinting like tiny jewels. Families savoured it with steaming cups of tea, fingers sticky, mouths smiling as the richness stretched through breakfast or afternoon breaks. In some regions, it was nicknamed poor man's fruit cake, a simple indulgence that brightened hard-working mornings. Though it has mostly vanished from everyday tables, its spicy, buttery charm lingers in festive kitchens. Would you cut a thick slab or a dainty slice? Wait until the next dessert, a sticky favourite almost forgotten, treacle sponge pudding. Golden treacle bubbled through the soft sponge as steam curled from the basin, carrying a rich caramel aroma across the kitchen. Each slice released warmth and sweetness, custard pooling around the edges, fingers sticky and eager for a taste. Children leaned close, eyes wide, while parents savoured the comforting ritual of a dessert that felt like a hug in every bite. In some areas, it was known as the schoolhouse treacle pudding, a humble treat elevated by its sticky richness. Though rare on modern tables, its indulgent charm still lingers in nostalgic kitchens. Could you resist diving in, or would your spoon sneak the first taste? The next dessert promises even more sticky, indulgent delight. Sticky toffee pudding. Dark, sticky toffee seeped into the soft sponge as the pudding emerged from the oven, filling the kitchen with a rich, buttery aroma. Each slice gleamed with syrupy sweetness, custard or cream melting into warm folds. Fingers brushed crumbs while children leaned in, eyes wide with anticipation, and parents stole quiet tastes between moments of pouring tea. In some cafés, it was called the weekend treat pudding, a humble indulgence that felt like a celebration. Though less common on the modern menus, its sticky, comforting charm still lingers in nostalgic kitchens. Who could resist a bite when the toffee gleamed so temptingly? And what will the next dessert reveal about forgotten childhood treats? Manchester tart. A cloud of powdered sugar crowned the soft, short crust base as custard puddled beneath a layer of raspberry jam. Shredded coconut sprinkled on top added a sweet, crunchy contrast, while slices of banana peeked from the edges like little surprises. Families remembered cutting into it at tea time, the tart wobbling slightly on the plate, children reaching eagerly for the first piece, fingers dusted with sugar. In some schools, it was affectionately nicknamed the banana tart, a colourful favourite of the lunchroom menu. Though rarely seen today, its playful flavours still linger in nostalgic kitchens. Which bite would you try first? Custard, jam or coconut? And can the next dessert outshine this colourful classic? Queen of puddings. Golden meringue peaks gleamed above a soft, steaming layer of sponge and jam, the scent of warm custard curling through the kitchen. Each spoonful combined tart raspberry or blackcurrant jam with sweet, airy meringue and delicate sponge, a regal treat for afternoon tea or special weekends. Children craned forward eagerly, spoons poised, while parents savoured the artful balance of textures and flavours. In some regions it was called the Schoolhouse Royal, a humble dessert elevated by its crowning sweetness. Though rare on modern tables, its delicate charm still lingers in nostalgic kitchens. Could you resist the first fluffy peak, or would your curiosity drag you straight to the jammy centre, sherry trifle? Layers of sponge soaked in sherry glistened beneath clouds of creamy custard, ruby fruit and whipped cream, the sweet scent filling the kitchen with festive anticipation. Each spoon revealed a mosaic of textures: soft cake, tangy jelly, smooth custard, a dessert that felt both indulgent and celebratory. Children peered eagerly into the glass dish, eyes wide, while parents balanced plates and poured extra cream. In some households it was called the Sunday showpiece, a dessert that marked special occasions. Though less common today, its layered charm still brings memories of warmth and indulgence. Which part would you dive into first? The jammy fruit, the silky custard, or the sponge? And which forgotten dessert will surprise us at number 21? Blancmange. Smooth, wobbly, and pale as porcelain, blancmange jiggled lightly on the plate, the sweet almond aroma drifting through the kitchen. Children tapped it gently with spoons, giggling at its delicate wobble, while parents admired the silky custard set so perfectly it almost looked too good to eat. Often served with a drizzle of fruit or a sprinkle of nutmeg, this dessert turned simple ingredients into something almost magical. In some schools, it was called the wobble pudding, a treat both curious and charming. Though rare today, its elegant texture still sparks childhood memories. Which part would you taste first? The fruity topping, the nutmeg, or the custard itself? And which school-time pudding earned a curious ban at number 21? Eccles cake. Golden, flaky pastry encased a rich, sticky filling of currants and spice, the aroma spilling across the kitchen like a secret waiting to be discovered. Children reached eagerly for the small, round treat, breaking the delicate crust to reveal the gooey treasure inside, fingers dusted with sugar and cinnamon. Often enjoyed with tea or as a sweet snack, it was a portable delight that carried warmth and tradition. In some schools, it was playfully nicknamed the currant bun surprise, a favourite of tea-time menus. Though rare today, its gooey charm still sparks fond memories. Which part would you bite first, the crisp pastry or the sticky filling? And which dessert once caused a stir in school kitchens will appear next? Battenberg cake. Pink and yellow sponge squares bound with a ribbon of apricot jam, peeked from beneath a smooth sheet of marzipan, filling the kitchen with the sweet scent of almonds. Children admired the checkerboard design, slicing carefully so as not to ruin the precise pattern, while parents smiled at the playful elegance of this celebratory bake. Often served at birthdays or festive teas, it was a showpiece of home baking skill. In some households, it was affectionately called the patchwork cake, a small masterpiece of colour and taste. Though rare on modern tables, its charm endures in nostalgic kitchens. Would you go for a neat slice first, or break the pattern to taste all the layers? And which surprising dessert awaits at number 19? Custard slice millefeuille. Crisp golden pastry layers cradled pale, velvety custard, the sweet scent drifting through the kitchen like a soft invitation. Children tapped the top lightly, powdered sugar dusting their fingers, while parents admired the delicate harmony of crunch and cream. Often served at afternoon tea or special occasions, it turned any table into a miniature celebration. In some homes, it was nicknamed the flying millefeuille, a playful nod to its layered elegance. Though uncommon today, its combination of textures continues to enchant those who remember it. Would you start with a spoonful of custard or a bite of crisp pastry? And which unexpected treat will appear next to tempt your taste buds? Summer pudding. Crimson juices from black currants, raspberries and red currants seeped into soft buttered bread, the scent of summer fruits filling the kitchen with a sweet tangy perfume. Children peered eagerly at the wobbly jewel-like pudding, spoons ready to scoop the vibrant interior, while parents admired its rustic charm and simplicity. In some coastal towns, it was called the berry basket pudding, a favourite at seaside teas. Though less common today, it still evokes the warmth of sun-soaked afternoons and long summer holidays. Which part tempts you first, the ruby fruit or the buttery bread? And what unusual dessert is about to make its grand entrance next? Carrot pudding with custard. Warm, spiced carrot pudding steamed gently on the plate, the sweet aroma mingling with rich, velvety custard, poured over the top. Each bite combined soft, earthy sweetness with creamy indulgence, transforming humble ingredients into a comforting treat. Children leaned in, spoons poised, while parents savoured the nostalgic flavours that carried memories of rainy afternoons and home-cooked warmth. In some households, it was fondly called the schoolhouse carrot bake, a humble pudding elevated by cinnamon and nutmeg. Though rarely served today, its gentle spice still brings comfort to those who remember it. Spoons hovered over the plate, tempted by either the steaming pudding or the cascading custard. Which element would you explore first? And what daring dessert is ready to steal the spotlight next? Tipsy Laird. Rich sponge soaked in whiskey, layered with sweet jam and custard, released a warm, boozy aroma that filled the kitchen. Children were warned to watch carefully as adults sliced the indulgent treat, golden custard gleaming between layers of sponge. In Scotland, it was affectionately called the Festival Sponge, a dessert that brightened holidays with spirited flavour. Though rarely made today, its warming aroma and boozy charm still spark memories of festive kitchens. The first slice tempts with amber custard and whiskey-soaked sponge. Which part would you try first? And which daring dessert will make its dramatic entrance next? Pineapple upside-down cake. Golden rings of pineapple glistened atop a sticky, caramelised sponge, the warm, sweet aroma filling kitchens and drawing children close. Each slice revealed a glossy, tropical crown, the tang of pineapple balancing perfectly with buttery cake. Families remembered cutting through the caramel, spoons scraping the edges eagerly, sticky fingers and smiling faces marking weekend indulgence. In some homes, it was affectionately called the sunshine cake, a bright, cheerful treat that lifted any tea time. Though rarely seen on modern tables, its tropical charm still sparks memories of playful baking. Would you savour the caramel first or lift the pineapple ring to enjoy its tangy sweetness alone? And which whimsical dessert is poised to surprise us next? Jam tarts with short crust pastry, tiny, golden shells cradled vibrant blobs of raspberry or blackcurrant jam, the sweet scent drifting through kitchens and school halls alike. Children's fingers dusted with sugar reached eagerly, lifting the delicate tarts carefully, careful not to disturb the wobbly fruit. The crisp short crust contrasted perfectly with the sticky, fruity filling, transforming a simple treat into a small celebration. In some households, they were nicknamed mini jam jewels, a playful nod to their bright jewel-like centres. Though less common today, their fruity charm still evokes childhood afternoons and baking memories. Would you explore the fruity heart first or nibble around the buttery edges? And which unexpected dessert is ready to surprise us next on the table? Rice pudding with nutmeg. In the heart of many British homes, rice pudding was more than dessert. It was comfort in a bowl. Slow-cooked milk and rice became silky and filling, while a light dusting of nutmeg added warmth and gentle fragrance. It was the dish that waited patiently in the oven, rewarding attention with creamy sweetness. Children scraped their spoons eagerly, while grandparents claimed it could brighten any gloomy afternoon. Once a daily favourite, it now survives mostly in memory and heritage cookbooks, a simple taste of nostalgia. Soft, comforting and gently spiced, what bold or surprising dessert might take the stage next to shake up your senses? Apricot flan. There was a time when apricot flan took centre stage on Sunday spreads, glowing under the light like a crown jewel of the table. A crisp, short crust base cradled silky custard, while halved apricots arranged neatly on top gleamed with a glossy glaze. Each bite offered a perfect balance, the tart fruit softened by creamy custard, paired with the gentle crunch of pastry. Elegant yet homely, it was a dessert that felt special while remaining comforting. Though it gradually fell out of fashion, its subtle charm lingers in memory and heritage kitchens. With its refined sweetness savoured, which whimsical or unexpected dessert could possibly follow to surprise the senses? Apple Brown Betty. Apple Brown Betty was a dessert that promised comfort with every spoonful. Tart apple slices layered with crumbs of buttery bread or biscuits baked slowly, till the top gleamed golden and crisp. Served warm, often accompanied by custard or cream, it was humble compared with pies or tarts, but no less treasured. Its charm lay in practicality, transforming leftover bread into a homely, filling treat that warmed kitchens on chilly evenings. Though less common today, its simple sweetness still evokes cosy family moments. From its golden layers and tender apples, which playful or unexpected dessert might step forward next to surprise the senses? Semolina pudding. Once a staple of British school dinners, semolina pudding divided opinions with its thick, creamy texture. Warm milk stirred slowly with semolina grains turned into a gentle, comforting dessert, lightly sweetened and often topped with sugar, jam, or a sprinkle of nutmeg. To some, it was nostalgia in a bowl. To others, a reminder of endless midday meals where this was the only option. Though less common today, it remains a quiet emblem of mid-century British kitchens. After the simplicity of this schoolhouse classic, which elegant or surprising dessert will step onto the table next, ready to charm and intrigue? Jam donuts, homemade style. Few things rivaled the joy of sinking teeth into a fresh homemade jam donut. Golden and sugar-dusted on the outside, soft and yielding within, each concealed a sweet surprise, raspberry or strawberry jam ready to burst forth. Mothers and grandmothers fried them in heavy pans, filling kitchens with an irresistible bakery aroma. Unlike shop-bought versions, they carried character, uneven shapes, sticky fingers, and jam that escaped onto aprons and shirts. More than a treat, they were little acts of love, crafted by hand and devoured with delight. With their sugary warmth savoured, which indulgent pudding might step up next to continue the sweet adventure? Raspberry Fool. Raspberry Fool was as airy as its name suggested, yet packed a burst of flavour in every spoonful. Fresh raspberries were gently crushed and folded into whipped cream, sometimes softened with a touch of custard or sugar, creating a delicate balance of tart and sweet. Served in glass dishes, its swirls of pink and white looked almost too perfect to eat. Simple to prepare yet elegant enough for summer dinner parties, it became a seasonal favourite in homes across Britain. Though its popularity waned over time, the memory of its light sweetness lingers. With summer's freshness savoured, which rich, warming dessert will make its cosy entrance next? Coconut ice slice. Coconut ice slice was a snapshot of childhood delight. 2 tidy layers, one snowy white, the other a cheerful pink. Made from condensed milk, sugar and shredded coconut, it sat firm yet melted softly on the tongue. Simple, colourful and endlessly charming, it appeared at school fetes, church stalls and home kitchens alike. Children adored the sticky fingers it left behind, while parents appreciated its economical sweetness. Though its pastel appeal gradually fell out of fashion, memories of its chewy, sugary charm remain. With its vibrant stripes savoured, which warm golden pudding might take centre stage next to tempt your taste buds. Jam sponge roll, Victorian style. Light, airy sponge carefully rolled around a glossy layer of jam. This was the jam sponge roll, a dessert that seemed simple but required finesse. A moment too long in the oven and the sponge would crack. Roll it too slowly and the jam might spill unevenly. Perfectly executed, it revealed elegant spirals of golden cake and ruby filling. Served at afternoon tea or after Sunday roasts, it combined sophistication with comforting sweetness. Though rarely seen on modern tables, its delicate charm lingers in memory. From its golden spirals and sticky jam, which silky, custard-filled classic is poised to delight next? Angel Delight. Original flavours banana or butterscotch. Instant, fluffy and impossibly sweet, Angel Delight turned a simple cup of milk into a cloud of creamy indulgence. Banana, butterscotch and strawberry flavours became staples of after-school snacks and weekend treats. The powder whisked into frothy perfection in seconds. Children giggled as the mixture thickened, marvelling at the airy texture and cheerful colours, while parents remembered its convenience and charm. Once a household favourite, it now feels like a nostalgic whisper from childhood kitchens. With its frothy sweetness savoured, which hidden retro pudding might emerge next to surprise the senses? Golden syrup dumpling. Steam curled from the pot as golden syrup dumplings bubbled gently, their soft, spongy dough soaking up rich amber syrup. The scent of caramel and warm dough filled kitchens, drawing children close with spoons at the ready. Each bite combined pillowy texture with sticky, sweet indulgence, perfect for chilly afternoons or Sunday dinners. Once a staple of working-class homes and school canteens, it now survives mostly in nostalgic cookbooks and the rare cafe menu, a hidden gem of mid-century Britain. With syrup still clinging to your spoon, which long-forgotten dessert will sweeten the next memory on our list? Jelly slice. Vibrant layers of wobbly jelly rested atop a crisp biscuit base, often crowned with a swirl of whipped cream. This was the jelly slice. Children pressed spoons through the shimmering, colourful layers, giggling at the gentle wobble and the sudden burst of fruity sweetness. Quick to assemble and visually striking, it appeared at school fetes, birthday parties and afternoon teas alike. Once a cheerful staple, it has largely disappeared from everyday tables, leaving only memories of sticky fingers and delighted eyes, as the last quivering slice wobbles on your plate. Which forgotten dessert is ready to claim the final sweet spotlight? Marble pudding, layered suet or sponge. Marble pudding crowned the countdown of British desserts. Swirls of rich chocolate intertwined with golden sponge or suet, creating a mosaic of flavour in every slice. Steaming from the oven, it filled kitchens with the comforting aroma of sugar, butter and cocoa. Families gathered eagerly, slicing generous portions and marvelling at the patterns, delighting in both taste and visual charm. Once a celebratory highlight at weekend dinners and special occasions, it now survives mostly in memory and heritage cookbooks, a final nod to a sweeter, simpler era. From oven to plate, this layered delight marks the end of our journey. But which nostalgic treat will you dream of first tonight?